So I gotta ask you, bro. You got a sold out show tonight at the House of Blues. Is it a different energy or more nerves or less nerves when you have a bigger crowd like that or like an intimate crowd like this for our winners?
It depends who the intimate crowd is.
How about the
To be
B96
honest.
listeners?
They're amazing, but they're very welcoming and fun. I played in front of a lot of people that weren't as welcoming, and fun.
Right.
And so you get in front of those crowds and it's small like this, and it's very uncomfortable.
Like a bunch of 80-year-olds, a bunch of 80
Bunch of 80-year-olds or like politicians.
right. Like a bunch
That
of
can be
dudes. A bunch of dudes would probably be like,
What's the matter? Dudes are great.
politician dudes. A bunch of politicians.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
So I had a really good weekend. What'd you do this weekend? You do anything or?
Yeah, a few things. Trying to think what I did.
So I gotta ask you, bro. So somebody calls you and says, "All right, man. On a Sunday night, do you mind being the music curator for the Miss America pageant?" What's your first answer to that? Like, is this a dream come true? Or
Why
what?
me?
Why you?
Why? Actually, I know why. So they called me and they said, we want to meet with you about something. I didn't know about what. It's Dick Clark Productions. And I was thrilled when they called me, so I came in, we met, and they said, look, we're relaunching Miss America, and we know that you did some work with your friend Demi as her music supervisor and her music director and creative director for her last tour. So we think this would be a cool next step for you to take kind of a behind-the-scenes approach to things. So I said, yeah, why not? So I picked a bunch of songs and built the music for the show with them, and it was a great process.
Yeah.
I got to
you guys
go
see
to
him
the
last
show.
night? He was dope, right?
I was in the show for about 2 minutes, explaining what I was doing.
Right.
The rest of the time I was backstage making sure everything went well.
You were like the ultimate like pageant DJ, I guess you could say, right? Is that kind of a...
Yeah.
That's
That's my middle name.
your middle name, pageant DJ?
Yeah.
I like that. So I gotta say, man, you go on tour, you have sold out shows everywhere. When you see Chicago coming up on the map, what's the first or second or third thing that you think of when you think of Chicago?
B96.
B96, good answer. That's answer 1, 2, and 3.
No, you guys are always great over here. I always love stopping by. But besides that, I've got some friends that live in town. Seeing them is always cool, and it's one of my favorite cities in the world.
Really?
So I love coming here, and the food is a big thing too.
Yeah. Pizza?
Yeah, of course.
All right, okay.
That's after show food. It's waiting on the bus, just sitting there.
You don't eat that before the show. You don't eat it before the show.
It depends on how I'm feeling.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't affect the cheese. Doesn't really affect
No.
me or anything. So I might go in before the show, and then after the show too.
Okay, right.
Yeah. I plan on eating a lot of pizza tonight.
Obviously. So you had Jealous, gigantic hit here on B96 and around the world, I'm sure. Chains, also a big hit here on B96. But the new single is Levels. I mean, this is a good song, Ron. And you guys liked it live, didn't you?
It's the first time we played it like that live, you guys. The
Really?
first time, just kind of broken down, lounge live.
Wow. So, bro, I got to tell you, man, this song is funky. It's really, really good, man. Why is this song, do you think, the single that's really going to be like, the next big one for you?
Well, I think that, what happened was I wrote a bunch of songs, and I looked up and realized that I had enough material to make an album. And in the process of making this last record, I made a lot of friends who are songwriters and producers. And so I played them some of the music and my label some of the music, and I said, here's where I think it's going to go. And combined with the songs that I wrote, a bunch of those songwriting friends sent me some of the songs they'd written with me in mind. And this was one of those songs.
Really?
And I heard it, fell in love with it, and knew that if I sang it, I could bring my own thing to it. And I feel like it's just the perfect next step, trying to take things in a more rhythmic direction and pick up the tempo a little bit. Chains having been sort of a mid-tempo, and Jealous even sits kind of in that vibe.
Yeah.
So picking it up with an up-tempo deal is fun. And then there's so many songs on this album that I'm so excited to release. I'm so excited, actually, that I've been just releasing them without permission, which has been fun.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I put a song out on SoundCloud the other day that was, just a moment of real inspiration, talking about some real life stuff, and wanting to just let the world hear it and see kind of what's going on in my head. What's that? I love you. Oh. Do you have something to add to this conversation?
For the record, I was standing by.
I was like, oh, she heard the song. Great. What do you think of it?
I love you.
You heard it. Thank you. Love you too, by the way.
In case you.
But the grown-ups are talking. No.
In case you didn't realize, I was standing there by your show, bro. Those two girls screamed so loud.
They're
I think
awesome.
I'm deaf in the right ear.
Are you coming to the show tonight? Yes. You don't got tickets. Damn it. What do we do now?
Oh my God.
Won't be able to get through a single song, but.
All right. Anyways, let's get back to the grown-up conversation over here.
Wait, hold up. I've got something for you. Come up here real quick. I got this. This is not a ticket, but it's a guitar pick, and hopefully it's a consolation. All right. Todd.
There's the scream. There's the scream.
There we go. All right, that's one. I got to find another one.
Thank you.
We got one more. I got it. Here we go. Thank you. Anyway, back to business.
Those girls are awesome. All right, so
They're fantastic.
Back to business. I gotta ask you, bro. I'm gonna ask you two questions. All right. The first part is gonna be kind of old school right now. What's your favorite Jonas Brothers song?
My favorite Jonas Brothers song?
Of all time.
Of all time. Look me in the eyes. That's kind of a jam. I would say, this is a tough one. Well, you know, I wrote a lot of songs in that time that were important to me in kind of processing my thoughts and feelings. And so I'm connected to certain songs for that reason.
Of course.
And then there's songs that, you know, I know what it did to other people and how it helped them, which is really meaningful as a writer to be able to do that. So a song called A Little Bit Longer is one that I think is very important.
Okay, a little bit longer.
And then SOS, I love, and I wrote it all by myself.
Oh, really? SOS, all right. More money, more money.
I'm kidding. I didn't make it.
All right, and the second part of that is what's your favorite
Just kidding.
Nick Jonas song so far?
Favorite Nick Jonas song. I would say on the last album there's a song called Santa Barbara. It's one of my favorites.
All right.
A song called Push that I wrote with this guy right here, Chase. So anytime you get to write with your friends, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And then Jealous is you know, it changed my career and my life, and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to everyone that loved the song as well. And it really did amazing things for me. So I'm forever grateful.
I gotta ask you in retrospect, because obviously the song was a gigantic hit, so now it's like, oh yeah, no problem. But were you nervous coming out with that song? Like, it was your kind of,
Yeah.
I know you had a solo project before, but this was kind of like your more grown-up solo project. So was you nervous, or were you kind of like, you know what, whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, I was very nervous. You know, and I think that the thing about it that made me the most nervous was that it was so different from anything I'd done in the past.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't what was being played on the radio.
Right.
You know, there was nothing really like it at the moment. And thankfully, you know, I've got great partners and people that I've been able to share this all with, which has been a beautiful thing, because that's how I like to approach it. A win with a team is way better than on your own. And
Of course.
it's been a really special year, and that song did a lot of great things, and I'm just so
Well,
happy.
I gotta tell you, man, just real quick on a personal tip, this guy over here, Eric Bradley, anytime
the
a Nick
best.
Jonas song comes out, he puts it in rotation on B96 right away. I mean, this guy has seriously from Jealous to Chains to Now Levels. This man right here is the
Show him
reason
some
you
love,
guys
Eric
are hearing it
Bradley.
on B96. So we know today's a big day for you, a sold-out show. You had last night was Miss America. So thank you so much for stopping by B96 before all this stuff happens and everything. We appreciate the time, because this guy is as busy as hell. Tonight, sold out the House of Blues. One more time, a big B96 Chicago welcome. Thank you to Nick Jonas.
Thank you, everybody.